Hi, I'm Robertson. Welcome to Good Business San Diego, where we introduce you to business leaders that are working with people to make positive changes in their lives. And the following portion of Good Business San Diego is sponsored by Jackson House. A recent survey from the National Institutes for Health indicates 1 in 5 Americans are living with some form of mental illness. Many of those people also suffer from addiction. Dr. Bruce Figuered is the president of Jackson House, a health treatment center that offers individualized programs to treat people with mental health issues. Dr. Figuered joins us with information on the help that's available right here in San Diego County, both for addiction and for mental health issues. 2 facilities, right? It's Jackson House and West Coast Recovery Centers. Tell us about both, Bruce.
Sure, yeah. I mean, actually, Jackson House, we have a number of facilities in Southern California as well as in Oregon. So Jackson House as a company has grown significantly over the last 5 years, offering services not only in San Diego County, but also in Riverside County, Ventura County, Tulare County, and recently we have opened our first facility in Portland, Oregon.
Growing with the need.
Growing with the need, that's right. And so we have one West Coast facility, which is in Oceanside, California, and they offer outpatient services for both addiction as well as mental health.
And so you're equipped to handle both, and oftentimes both simultaneously, or one feeds the other, as we've discussed before, right?
Yeah, and so in the field of psychology or behavioral health, oftentimes people will have both problems happening. Oftentimes people will have an anxiety disorder or depression, as well as a substance use disorder. And at any given time, one of them may be what we say is the primary problem versus a secondary problem. And so as an organization, we are really, really proud and blessed to have a care continuum to meet the needs of people where they are at any given time.
So this continuum of care, what exactly does that entail, and what is the benefit to people as they go through that care process?
Sure. So if you're struggling with addiction or you're struggling with mental health, at any given point, the problem may be more severe or less severe. And so we have residential treatment programs for individuals that may have a problem that's more severe and they need a structured 24-hour environment like a residential treatment center. So we have Jackson House Recovery Center that offers residential treatment and detox services for addiction. And we also have Jackson House in La Mesa, which offers residential mental health treatment. So when the problem is more severe, you want the level of care and the level of structure to match the severity of the illness.
Sure.
At West Coast, we have outpatient services, and so as somebody progresses through treatment and they are doing better, or if they come in and the problem's not very severe, they can do outpatient. They can live at home and come to do outpatient services at West Coast, and we all and so in doing so, it's very comfortable, it's easy to address the issues, and we find that having the care continuum really leads to a higher success rate of recovery.
And does that help people be a little bit more comfortable with getting into the process? They maybe feel, oh, my problem's not that severe. I don't really think I need to live in a residential facility. But here, if it's a mild case, you've got solutions for them.
Yeah, so like an intensive outpatient program as an example. Someone would come to treatment between 3 and 5 days per week for 3 hours. And during that time, they can, they'll be able to see a psychiatrist or a nurse practitioner if they need medication. They can have access to groups and individual therapy and family therapy, and really, so that's the sort of the lowest level of care that we offer.
What are the steps for someone to take who's watching this, or a family member that has somebody that thinks this is going to be ultimately very beneficial to someone I know? What do they do first?
Yeah, whether you're interested in or you need residential treatment or you need an outpatient treatment program, go to jacksonhousecares.com. Right. Give us a call, and our admissions team is there from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week, and they can talk through whatever's happening with the individual and get more information and discuss the next steps.
So help is there. Multiple locations and multiple levels of care.
That's right.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, Dr. Figuered.
Thank you so much.
Coming in. Yep. More information online at jacksonhousecares.com. This is Dr. mentioned, preceding portion of Good Business San Diego, sponsored by Jackson House. And we will be right back with more of Good Business San Diego right after this.